All right, just pulled up to the property hives. It's a hot day. I've waited for a little while. Shade comes over them in the evening time. I waited as long as I could. Got the bees back here on the trailer. I've got at least 15, I think maybe 17. I'll have to count them today to be sure. But I gotta check them. That nuke down on the end, and there's another nuke on the other side. It's gotta be combined. And then just checking a hive. I'm gonna try to do some mite checks today too on some of the bigger ones. That purple bottom one there, I'll try to check it. It's a little look around the property. Sometimes you see these videos and you don't get to see around the property. I got a trailer over there. I got some cedar logs cut. I'm gonna make some 4x4s out of those, I think. Cut them on the sawmill. Got no trailer I gotta get rid of up here. And then got a little barn. We put maple on it, redid it a little bit. It still needs some work, but I gotta redo it. I've got some boxes sitting in that. It's got 10 acres here. It goes up the hill behind the trailer there, and then part of it, the driveway and all, is out that way. On the other side of that brush pile, I gotta get rid of that brush pile and do some work, grading work. Needs a lot of grading work. I'm gonna try to take you through the hives today and kind of tell you what I'm doing. I'll start out with the camera kind of back so you can see. I'll put the speaker on so you can hear me, and we'll see how it goes. All right, getting ready to check into these hives. I think y'all can see them all. A little bit different viewpoint today. Got my speaker on. I can't believe that it's this late in July and they're that busy. Somebody had a picture of aster blooming already, and that shouldn't be blooming. Not for a month or so. So it's hard to believe that they're as far along as they are. Hopefully that means we get some good fall honey. I try to keep up with them and see where they're at and see what they need. I just can't believe they're this busy this late in the year. Doing good, most of them. I'm gonna try to do some mite checks today too. We'll see how that goes. Then I gotta do some combining. I always try to check the smallest hives first to get as little disturbance in the yard as I can. I know this hive here, and then there's another single. I don't think you can see it. Maybe is right here. That needs to be combined. I pinched the queen in this one last time because of a terrible pattern. The first queens I've pinched. I always check my notes on the top of the hive. Last note was on 714, swapped frames with number 8 and needs another box. So this one looks like it may be a good one. I can go ahead and combine these two with, because I know they need to be combined. So I'm just going to get it done. I know there's a couple over here. This one has capped queen cells. That one has queen cells. And I'm not sure about that one up there. I'll check it in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this one, and with plans of these other two nukes with this hive. They look pretty busy, and it says they were full. Lots of bees on the top. You got a feeder in there. I did bring some frames with me. They're a busy hive. They don't have any bird comb on the top, so I haven't lost any honey on them. Anytime you see a lot of white wax at the top, you know you've lost some honey. Dump that over here. I don't see that, so that's good. They are busy, that's good. check a frame or so while I'm here. Nice frame of cat brood all the way to the outside edge, and they're backfilling and the bees are hatching out. Check one more frame. I don't want to get into them too far, more than I have to. Get out here in the sun. They're backfilling, which means a lot of nectar's coming in. And they got a lot of brood too, so they're good for another box. I'll check one more frame just because I can't stand it. Be nice to see some eggs. Okay, I'm seeing larvae in this one. She's filling in. They've got backfill, and then she's filling in the cells between the backfill. So they need a little room. They're doing good. Lots of brood. About where I'd expect them to be. So I think it'll be a good candidate for combining another hive on top of them. I didn't bring, I like to use newspaper. I used paper towels on one at home. I'm gonna get a frame and put where that feeder was. Not sure if I've got any paper towels up here in the barn or not. Go check. I don't see any paper towels up there. I'm gonna go ahead and combine them the way that they are. There's plenty of bees down here to take care of things. And there's not too many bees in the other hive, so I'm not too worried about them finding or killing this queen. I want to take the space. I had all that space on that other side for the feeder. I want to take that space, tighten up the frames in the middle, and leave that space to the outside. Go ahead and get another box and set on top of there, and then I'll just start filling it up with these other frames. I think I've got 4, be 8. So I'll need 2 frames out of my other box. There's a box. I've got 2, there's 2 foundation that was in it. But since I got drone frame, I'm going to use them. 2 nice drawed frames that I extracted honey out of, so they were new wax. And they look good. I'll set those on the outside. Smoke these good. Gosh. Take the other feeder out. Good gosh. Very little honey in here. They might have been in the process of robbing these out. There's not much in here in the way of honey. I'm going to take this box away. Okay, we're robbing it, man. There's a bunch of bees flying around where that one was. Might be rubbing this one too. Feels pretty light. Had apivar strips in there. Trying to get this. Good gosh. Get this hive to live. And it never has done anything since I put them in here. Next to nothing. So I'm cutting my losses and combining them. In the past, I would have spent months trying to save a hive, and I've come to find out that sometimes you're just better off to go ahead, take what you got, and combine them with another hive. Okay, I'm missing one frame because I had a feeder in there and it wasn't full. Get rid of this box. One more frame. So there's not a lot of bees in those two nukes. There's not enough to hurt the bees in the bottom because they're too strong. And they're obviously bringing in some because they're busy as heck. Be a first for me. There was about a 2 or 3 week dearth here a few weeks ago. It'd be amazing if that's all the dearth there was this year. And they just go ahead and start putting in fall honey. But we shall see. We'll see how they do with just this. That's got some weight in the bottom, so they got honey in there. They got stuff to eat. I forgot to look at the dang date again. I think it's somewhere around 7/20. Combine 2 nukes on top. And that one nuke that was over there, it had some queen cells in it. So we'll see what that amounts to. I don't think it'll matter much, so I'm just gonna leave them. All right, I got that one where I want it. Okay, the rest of these I think are in pretty good shape. Look at the hive top notes. These bees will get sorted out, reoriented. They got a load, they'll let them in another hive, but they'll have to figure it out. Okay, this hive here, 714 has capped queen cells. Today's the 20th. I didn't get a date. I messed up by not getting a good date of when I split those hives. It was before vacation. We were on vacation for the 4th, so it was about probably the last 30th of June. I like to wait till the 30 days, so that would be the 30th of July, so I'm going to leave that one alone. In this one, refilled the feeder and added a pollen patty. Had 7 frames last time I checked it. So we'll see what it's doing. It was really busy. They're coming in at the other side. Looks like there's 10 frames now. There's a frame on this outside edge. It looks like they've drawn it out. Looks like a new frame of wax. And it is. That's a sheet of that black plastic starter strip or foundation that I got from Dawn. Dawn went and got for us. But they're really doing good. They're pulling it out nice. This could probably use a box too, since I got most of this one full. I don't want to go into them too far. Need to leave my marker out. Oh gosh. Frame and a box is what it needs. This one says no eggs, has queen cells. I want to leave it till the end of the month. This one, 714, 10 frames, needs a box. Added second high body, filled feeder and pollen patty. So I added second pollen box on the 14th. These limbs, it's always funny when there's no leaves on them. They're nowhere near the hives. Now it's got leaves on it. It's drooping down on top of everything. So I added a box about 7 days ago. I added this second high body, a pollen patty, and a feeder. And I got my inner cover turned over to allow room for the pollen patty that I put in there last time. And it's completely gone. Well, that was good. Of course, the feeder's empty and the box is nowhere close to being full. Trying to use some of this old comb, and I've had mixed results. I don't know if I'm going to keep that up because they're tearing it out, a lot of it out, and putting in new. They are drawing out some comb on there, so I'm going to leave them. This is a good candidate for needing some more sugar water, so I'll note that on the cover. But needs feed. All right, this one had 10 frames, added a second high body, and feeder and pollen patty. So this one I added, should be about like this other one. Feeder's upside down for the pollen patty. And they're just finishing up on the pollen patty with this one and starting to draw out a little foundation. So this one will be a good candidate when I get some sugar water. I'll feed this one too. 720 needs feed. Needs fed. Here's a single 714. It had 8 frames. I bet they're ready for a box. I don't know. They're not as strong as I thought they'd be. Another sheet of foundation that's drawn out. Got some darker nectar in the top. One side's drawn out, one side's not. See if I can see any eggs. You can tell the honey, the nectar they're bringing in is darker. Oh, there's all kind of eggs. You know, I was thinking the other day, and I might have already mentioned it, but this needs feed too. You know, I've never, we always check brood patterns, and we always check cat brood. And you know, everybody wants to say, oh, that's a great queen, good brood pattern. Well, I don't know that I've ever seen a brood pattern of eggs with a lot of cells missed. I think the queens lay all those cells with eggs, and some of them don't make it, or I was reading this morning that they know when they're diseased, they can smell it, and they'll go ahead and eliminate them, or sometimes if there's not enough nectar, they'll cannibalize them. Let's see, it had 8 frames. Needs feed. But I, if you look at a frame of eggs, I've never seen misses in eggs like I do misses in cat brood. Those larvae didn't make it, and a lot of times I think they just didn't get fed enough, and starved to death, so they cannibalized them. I think a lot more of that goes on than we know. This one had 9 frames. I checked it for mites, had 2 mites. Pollen patty removed 2 frames of 21. So this one should be doing really good. I've already took some brood out of it to equalize. And it looks to be full. It's got 9 frames with a feeder. Check this outside frame. Try not to roll any bees. It's got cap nectar. It's got some pollen. They're drawing on the other side and adding nectar to the other side too. So they pretty much filled this one. So this one needs a box. And with that box we'll need a feeder. So I'll make all these notes on the top and then take pictures of them to go in my B+ app, and I'll know from that what to bring next time, since I'm writing it all down, even though I don't know if I got the date right. That's 9 frames with feeder, needs box and feed. Alright, that takes care of this back side. I got my Combine already done. Got my hive top weights back in place. I'll come around and take pictures when I'm done with everything. That 16 is probably one of my best ones. 5 was my best one and I split it. This one had the queen. Yeah, this is split from number 5. This half has the queen, some brood. So I took her and put her over here without all the workers coming in. Left the workers over that side to raise a queen. And this was before, let's see, 619 split from number 5. This half is queenless. So they should have a queen now. This one should, so this will be a good one to check next. They're all over that strip of apibor. No sign of a queen on 714. It says to give it a week, so we should be seeing a queen for sure by now. If I don't see a queen by now, then I'll do something else with it. Not a whole lot of bees in here. It doesn't look great. They don't look organized. They look scattered. That frame's just got honey. No brood. Has nectar. A little bit of pollen. No eggs. Go over a couple more frames. This one doesn't look good either. It's full of pollen. Good pollen frame, but there's nothing in here. They were not successful in their attempt to make a new queen, and there's very limited number of bees. Very limited. Another frame of pollen. Another thing you got to watch for is these pollen frames will act as like a division board or a stop. They'll get to a frame of pollen and just stop. So you got to be careful about where to use these frames of pollen at. This one's gonna have to be combined with another hive. Because there's nothing going on. And again, there's not enough bees in this one to worry about them fighting too much with another one. They're taking over, they're killing their queen or anything like that. There's just not enough bees in here. So that's looking like a combine. I don't even think a queen cell would help them. There's not enough going on. So I gave them another week from last week and they were unsuccessful. See, 21. This is the one I brought from the house. I think this half got the queen. 714, I added a high body feeder and field. Yeah, this half got the queen, and we're doing good. Remove 2 frames of honey on 7-8. So we'll see how well they're doing in this top box that I added on the 14th. Okay, haven't really moved up into the top box yet. We've done a little, but not much. So this one needs more feed too. Check just to look, see what that bottom box looks like. And the bottom box looks full. Just not enough for them to move up. So I might go ahead and pull a frame. I probably should have done this last time. I'm gonna pull a frame of brood up into the top. See if I can get them to move up a little bit. Switch out some of these frames. All kind of brood. It's got some of those raised cells like that picture on Facebook. There is eggs and larvae. Looking for the queen. I don't see her. I'm gonna go ahead and move this frame up. It does have eggs and larvae in it. I'll put one of these foundation in the bottom. Might move up a couple frames. Let's see what this one looks like. All kind of eggs. I don't see the queen. I'm gonna move this one in the top too. I'm gonna slide this drone frame over against that sheet of foundation and put another kind of checkerboard, this foundation in here a little bit. I'll put a starter strip in and see what it does. Put on my extra space at the outside. If you keep that extra space at the outside and keep those frames together, they won't build up that little bit of propolis on the edge of the frames that they do. It keeps your frames from touching. If you got any gap in between your frames, they put that propolis in there and then it'll never go together. You'll never have extra space. Okay, I got my two foundation, a foundation and starter strip in the bottom. Got me a feeder in here in the top. Same way, I'm on the checkerboard. I'll put another starter strip in between these two that I'm pulled up from the bottom. I think that'll spread them out a little bit and get them up there in the top working a little more. I'll bring some feed. I definitely know now I gotta get some more sugar. I'll get a couple bags of sugar at Wally World and get them out here. And all the ones that says need feed, I'll pull the top off and feed them, so it'll be a simple check. 720, I think. Moved 2 frames of brood 2. Top. Need. Feed. Okay, so that one's good. All right, this is 5, the one I split. It's supposed to have the queen. Let's see how she's doing. I think last check she wasn't doing too great either. Remove foundation in the middle to outside edge on 714, 7-8. Lots of honey, still building population. My smoker's going out. Yep. Sucker hot in the top. Like me. I don't think it has. This is a really good queen. This is the only queen that survived the winter. And I'll split her into here. Trying to make another one in that other box, but that didn't happen. And like I say, this one ain't doing a whole lot better. I did get a split. I think I've got 2 splits living off of her. I'd have to check the notes. Frame of honey. Honey and nectar. Brood. And eggs. So she's still kicking. Thank goodness, I was a little worried. I don't see her. She needs an influx of population. She's got, I guess she's got about 9 frames going down here. Pretty sure she's marked. She should be blue. Bunch of cat brood, and she got a pretty blue mark on her. I see her. I know she's safe, so I'm gonna put her back in here. Make sure she's okay. Put my sheet of foundation back in. They've got a bunch of honey. Check my spacing. Put my top back on. I would like to move her, but they're getting so heavy now, I don't know if I want to move her or not. I'm not sure I want to put that other one back on top of her either. I think I'm going to put that one on top of another one. I might just let her go because I know she's really good. If she gets taken off and they start getting honey flow, I think she'll go on her own. 720. Found queen. A box and feed. All right, one of these other ones over here that needs a box is fixing to get this 64 split. They're fixing to get their box and some bean geese and some drawn foundation. Drawn comb. Refilled feeder, 7 frames. Needs feeder in a box. Looks like it's gonna be number 63. Get some lucky 63. They're good and strong. I think I got another. I'm gonna take this feeder out of the bottom. Take this frame out to get the feeder out a little better. Another sheet of acorn foundation getting drawn out perfect and filled up with some nectar. Looks really good. Another sheet right there beside it getting drawn out just as well. So I'm kind of liking the acorn. I'm gonna take a frame out of here and replace that feeder with it. I know a lot of these have got honey, so we'll put that. Be good to have a frame of honey down there. Alright, that's a full frame of honey in place of that feeder. Let's see, I gotta pick a frame to put up top. I think I'll just do one on this one. That frame's kind of bulged out. I don't want to reel the queen. Take this one out. Sheet of acorn, it's got nectar. This is a ton of brood and eggs. Don't know that I want the queen up there, but I do want brood and eggs. At least not yet. Yeah, I think this one's going up top. Put another one of these in the bottom. You don't want to put a full frame of honey in the center of the brood, because it'll just act as a stop. I'll basically have 2 hives in there, one on one side of the honey and one on the other. So I'm going to put it on the outside edge with this other frame. That'll give them plenty to draw from and pretty much fill out this bottom box. Okay, my spacing is good. I think I'm ready to put this other box on top of them. If this was a full hive that I was combining, I'd be worried about them fighting and who would win. But even if they do fight, the bottom's gonna win because the top ain't got enough bees. And I don't think it's gonna be much of a problem. I'm gonna put that eggs and brood right in the center, pretty close. Scrape some of this crap off. Check again for the queen. I don't see her. It's a good frame of brood. Once again, there's no, if you look at, just think about it, when you look at larvae and eggs, I see larvae in the middle, and the closer you get to the outside, the closer you get to eggs. There is no skip cells. If you got skip cells, it's because there was either something wrong with that brood and they knew it and got it out of there, or you let them get too hungry and they ate it. One or the other. So all those bees will take care of that brood, take our mind off fighting probably too. Alright, I need one more frame to fill it. Well, actually I think I'm gonna put that feeder back in this top. That way I can come back. Alright, needs feed on this box, I can come back with a feeder. Well, I don't know, they got honey. No, I'm gonna put a drawn sheet of comb on there, because they don't really need feed. They got a bunch of honey. That's why I say everybody wants to know when to feed and when to do this and when to do that. Well, several of those hives need to be fed and this one don't. So you got to know which hives. You can't just say, well, I need to feed. Don't need to feed. Some hives need it, some hives don't. It's a really good. I've got the honey on this frame. This is like gold right here. Can you see me? There we go. Draw on comb like this is like gold. I hate that I had to combine so many hives, but at the same time, just hives like this one makes me feel much better about things. I think they'll do really good. My space on the outside. Inner cover. My original top. I think this is my original top. Yeah, the other one's over there. Needs frame and a box. So no, it don't. Combined. Number 64. And added brood to top box. So that should get them up there motivated and make quick work of that. We do start getting the nectar flow in. They'll be sitting pretty. Alright, so this side's all done. I took my apivore strips out. Got some more unused equipment now. There you go. That hive's been sitting there a while. It's got all kind of debris under there. Didn't even think about that. Golly. I had these hives sitting at Dad and didn't check them for a couple years, hadn't done much to them. This hive has got a ton of debris underneath of it. Should have had that out there. It's got some wax moth larvae, wax moths, and all kind of stuff. Get that out there and let that dry out good. All right, 21's good. 5 is good. I got 4 more to check. 20, 13, 19, and 16. And I think I'm going to take a break and cool off before I check those. All right, got 4 more hives to check. 16, 19, 13, and 20. And I want to do mite checks on them. I'm pretty sure the hives are doing okay. But your best hives are the ones that you end up having mite problems with. And these are, right now, are pretty much them. So I want to mite check them. So I hope you can hear me. I'm going to go over here. My speaker battery died. So hopefully you can hear me and I can get these checked. Get my hive tool. Get cooled off in the truck a minute. It's the hardest part of the day, but the bees are a whole lot more gentle and easy to work with. It's just hot, and this bee suit gets hot. I just left the truck running, left the AC on. Figured it wouldn't be that long, and made it kind of nice. Go up there and cool off in the truck for a minute. Now I just got 4 more to do. This one says remove feeder and put in sheet of foundation. Had 17 frames, pollen patty, and a gallon feeder at 7/8, sorting 14, remove feeder. Put in a sheet of foundation, so they're filling up that box. Good, they should have both boxes pretty much full, hopefully. I'm going to check the weight. Weight's pretty good. Alright, looks like they got everything drawn out. Let you see one side while I see the other. This is a sheet of foundation I put in, and they've got both sides almost full. The nectar that they've got coming in, I don't know if you can see it, is a lot darker already than what I've been seeing. I see nectar in this frame and no eggs in there. But that's good. They've got just about everything in this box drawn. They're ready. If we have a fall flow, this one will be ready to make it. I'm tempted to go ahead and put a super on here, just in case. There's a little bit of drone brood. I see drone brood in this one. It's hard to tell in the bottom of those cells. Check for eggs because it's shiny, and you don't know if it's shiny because they've got it polished, or if it's shiny because she's got, yeah, there's all kind of larvae right there. She's doing awesome. This is exactly what you want. Told Jake I was gonna split them and overwinter in singles, but I'm checking it out and it's getting too late. I'm scared. I know these will make it, unless something else goes wrong, unless they've got a bunch of mites. I'll find a good frame to get mite checked on there. There's a lot of larvae on that frame. Should be more on this one. A lot of honey on this frame. Huh, that's full of honey. It's a weird spot. It's got brood on one side and it honey's toward the middle. These are awful. This has got eggs and larvae. Eggs and larvae. No sign of the queen. This has got a little older larva with some capped cells on here too. Some drones. Good heavy frame. This looks like a better one for a mite check. Still scared on these mite checks that I'm gonna get the queen in there somehow. I don't see her. I've got all my queens marked, so I'm pretty sure I would see her if she was on here. I know they'll hide from the light. This looks like a really good one to check for mites. Got some drone brood. If they've got mites, they'll be on the bees on this frame. Just looking at them, I don't see any on their backs. Pretty calm. That's a really good hive. All right, I'm gonna take them down over here. Get everything ready. Have to cut. Third hive. I do not see her. Flying bees fly. Because I knew that frame of brood in with the other brood. They were separated by a frame of honey. Not yet. Back in here. Get half a cup. Drop in. Put the lid on. I'm supposed to shake them for 1 minute. And the rest of these are all nurse bees. Oh, I got this one wet. Wet. Very wet. Shake these good. can go ahead and take these up. See, 1, 2 mites for sure. See, 2 mites. One, two. So that's pretty good. I don't know, that might have been nectar that came out of that frame when I shook it. I don't know, but it sure made the bottom of my bowl wet. Sometimes the bees will get hot and they'll do that too. So I had 2 mites in that hive. When you leave your marker out, you don't know where to find it. Today is 723 instead of 720. I might have had strips on this side too. Let me see. Got to be careful about standing in front of the house too long if they build up on your back. Alright, that house is on 714. This hive had 18 frames, and I refilled the feeder, so it only had one empty frame, and currently it's got a feeder. Here's the one frame. They're working on adding nectar to it, some more of that dark nectar. Looks good. More nectar. Some really noticeably darker nectar in these frames. Yeah, I don't know if it's fall honey, I don't know what it is. Clover and what was the other? Teasel, I think is the only thing I know that's coming in. But I certainly don't know everything that's out there, but that's a nice looking frame. They're adding honey too. There's the strip. Another frame of nectar. Some of this could be sugar water too, because I had this feeder on there. Another full frame of nectar. I don't know if this is all gonna be nectar up here or not. I might have too much. Unpack them out. Yeah, this looks like a good one to check for. Looks like a lot of drone brood. Frame doesn't look great. Not a great looking frame. It might be a good one to check for mites. They might have a bunch of mites. It might be well. Bad looking frame might be one of those a little more aggressive too. Let's see some catbird on this next one. I've had mite strips in and shouldn't be loaded with mites. A little bit of cat brood, bunch of eggs. 1 egg per cell. Yeah, this frame looks good. That other frame doesn't, but I don't know what happened to it. I'll probably get a half cup off of that other one. I think I'm shaking nectar off in here because they're wet just like a mug. Worded I got alcohol in here somewhere. I don't want to get none of the rest of the I think it's just nectar. Got no, I had 2 mites in here. I didn't clean them out. There's just 2. Let's see how many ends up on this one. Ain't seeing no more. Get out of here. Battery's running dead. I'm gonna do this one and I'll do the other 2. It's gonna be 2 more of this the same. So I'll finish up this one, but I don't think there's any mites on this one either. Like I said, there's 2 already in here. Still seeing just 2. Alright, I had 0 mites in that one. They didn't like me being in there. I got 2 more to check, so maybe 2 more just the same. The mites are looking good. I think this year, since it's the first year for these hives going through winter, I think they're going to be fine. I don't think there's enough time for the mites to build up. But I'll still do some more checks, but I haven't found any mites hardly at all. Of course, I had 2 strips in that one, so I might have got rid of them already. But got 2 more to check. I'll check them. Got any comments or questions, leave them below. I'd be glad to hear what you got to say. If not, I'll see you on the next video.